Right now, energy companies are ramping up their preparations ahead of the weekend's winter storm. Our northern counties especially could see icy conditions, and Entergy Texas is one of the companies that services much of the area, as you can see in this map, the green on your screen. To talk more about their preparations, we're joined now by President and CEO Eli Biamontes. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning.
Good morning, Jacob. Thanks for having me.
So what does your team and you specifically do when you see the forecast? You know that it's going to be colder than usual and for a couple of days. What do preparations look like for you?
Yeah, and first of all, the short answer is that Entergy Texas is ready for this event, and we encourage our customers to do the same. You know, the preparations, they take place year round. We're ready for any type of storm, and there's drills that go into place, but then we also make preparations leading up to the specifics of the storm, in this case, a winter event. And that can include putting in enclosures on critical equipment on power plants, installing insulation on pipelines, and actually going out and assessing critical lines. And we've completed in just these short days over 500 miles of assessments and have a vegetation on critical lines as well, sometimes trimming from ground to sky just to make sure that we mitigate those hazards.
Wow. What would you say, how would you describe what worst case scenario you're preparing for just in case? Like what does that look like for you?
Yeah, our preparations extend to all possible scenarios. We look from fuel supply to making sure that our power plants are running, to making sure that our critical infrastructure and the power lines are up and running as well. But we also assume that, you know, there is no system that is 100% proof of Mother Nature, and every storm is different. And when we think about a winter event, you also have the additional logistical complexities of just driving on the road. And so our preparations take all those scenarios into account. That is what we do. We think about what can go wrong, and we take actions now to make sure that we're prepared. And again, that's why I encourage our customers to make their preparations as well.
Yeah. What does the last time people who are from the area, they've been here for several years, they remember the 2021 freeze, which of course was colder and colder for much longer. But what to remind us it changes or happened for your company after that storm? Any lessons learned that help you prepare for stuff like this?
Yeah, Jacob, every one of these events are a lesson learned. That's part of our continuous improvement, DNA. And, part of the steps that we're taking right now, such as the enclosures, putting in the insulation on these power plants, making sure that we're prepared to sequester employees in the power plants if we need to. If we don't have to, that's great, but we're prepared to take those actions, and making sure that we have sufficient fuel supply for our generation plants is absolutely critical. We're not expecting widespread outages, but at the same time, we're preparing for those circumstances. What we're going to see is a front that's going to hit Saturday and Sunday. And you might have isolated pockets of damage, and we'll respond to those safely and quickly as possible. And then we have the temperatures dropping in Sunday and Monday, and we'll just focus on making sure that we have the generation supply. So Winter Storm Uri, created a lot of opportunities to improve. We've made several $million investments as a result. And I feel very confident about where we are in this winter event.
Okay, great. And great to hear you don't expect widespread outages. Lastly, what would you say to people who wonder if they're in your territory? Maybe we can put up, producer, the map again to show where that is. How would they reach out to you, for example, if they do have a question or issue?
Yeah, so in addition to encouraging our customers to be prepared, we encourage them to stay informed. And that's where we have our website, entergy.com/storm center. In there, you could access our very detailed view outage map, and you can see where your home is, or where your business is in our service territory, and see what the state of the electric grid is in and around your area. We know communication is important. People need to understand, what the situation is so that they can make plans. And we take that very seriously. So we encourage them to go to the website. If you're an Entergy customer, download the app. You have a lot of great information. We have already started direct messaging our customers about the preparations we're making. So there's tons of information out there, and we encourage our customers to do that and to remain safe. If there's a down power line, stay away from it, report it. If you're installing a generator, make sure someone qualified is able to do that work. Our public safety is of utmost importance for us.
Entergy Texas CEO Eli Biamontes, thank you so much for coming on your perspective and just hearing what we know, what we've talked about, what we've reported, but hearing you describe it is so helpful and important. We appreciate your time.
Thank you, Jacob.